Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Kopp. We thank you if you've watched any of our previous interviews as we talk about Temple Athletics' response to the COVID-19 epidemic. We've talked with our Director of Athletics, Patrick Kraft. We've talked with our Head of Academics and Career Services, Justin Miller. We wanted to get a coach's perspective today, and so we welcome in Temple field hockey coach Susan Ciufo. Susan, thanks for taking some time to chat with us today.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
So let's take a look at how this situation has affected your team. Obviously, field hockey being a fall sport, you weren't in the middle of in-season competition when all of this unfolded in March, but it does have a direct implication on any sport, fall, winter, or spring. And in your situation in particular, you come in as a first-year head coach. You take a team that had won 2 games the previous year. You win 7 in the fall. You've got all this momentum, all this positive feeling, I'm sure, heading into now your second full season, and then it's abruptly stopped. So can you just talk about what the effect of that has been and just kind of what life is like for you right now?
Of course, we are really fortunate in our opinion that we weren't a spring sport. Obviously we feel for all the winter sports who had seasons, cut short going into tournament, and our spring sports as well, being only a few games in. So we were fortunate in that sense that we got our fall completely finished. For us, just like you said, we were in a really critical phase in our second spring together, a lot of development and transition. So we are definitely bummed to be losing that aspect with our ladies. We were seeing a lot of progress, not just within the physical side of things and our technical skills, but our ability to start to really learn the tactical concepts. And we're making massive strides there, which of course we're finding new ways to still make those strides. You find a way. I think that's really been our motto through this is, we're safe and healthy, and obviously that's of utmost importance. And how can we find ways to still bridge that gap between us and some other programs? So we've definitely been hard at work in that sense in trying to find a new way.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Obviously, there's so many different aspects that go into this that have now all been replaced by trying to do things remotely and trying to do things online. So, from a coaching perspective, what are you able to do from a training standpoint, from a development standpoint? What does that look like for you and your team right now?
Clearly there are restrictions in place in terms of what we can be mandating with the physical side of things. And that has definitely taken that aspect out of it. We've obviously created a packet. We send film in terms of what they can be doing if they choose to, which is obviously very helpful for them. I know our ladies are doing a really good job. They went out and bought turfs and rebound boards and tires, and they're trying to get their technical side of skill down, which has been, one aspect we've been able to focus a little bit more on, in which we weren't able to do that as much when we're together, because we do focus a big majority of our gameplay on gameplay and tactical awareness and small games. So hopefully their technical skill is building in this stage. Again, it's not mandatory, but we know our ladies are doing a lot to still progress. What we have been able to do, which we already put a big emphasis on our culture, again, the tactical side of things, we've been able to watch on Zoom. We share our screen, whether it's with the full team, within positions, classes. We're doing a ton of film to build that tactical IQ. And from there, just again, building on who we are as people, our character as leaders. A lot of Zoom sessions focused on, the reading that we're doing, which is the Wolf Pack by Abby Wambach. Just essentially we have game nights on Wednesday nights. It's kind of just pulling our team together, but we've found definite ways to still stay connected and keep some normalcy with them. So even though we're apart, how can we still be connected together through our development, through our hockey IQ, and then through who we are as people and how we're going to build through this phase? Obviously, this is history. It's a pandemic that they're going through, and who are we going to become when we get out of it?
Oh, how are you getting the sense then that the team is responding to all of these different things? I imagine there's some people that probably take to the online aspect pretty naturally. Some, if you were a film junkie to begin with, this might be heaven for you that you're breaking down tape. But how are you getting a sense just from the team how they're adjusting to something that is so radically different than anyone has done before?
The first 2 weeks was definitely a big transition, which again, we are a transitional team right now. We're very used to that, and they adapt quite quickly. Our team, among all the student athletes, not just at Temple, but I think the nation, are very resilient, and they're finding ways to make it work. So academically with their online courses, we're very fortunate to have the Resnick Center, Justin and Tara, who works directly with our team in terms of building our academic presence and making sure that they are doing what they need to do. And they've definitely adapted quite well to that. In terms of the other aspect and culture in our film sessions, it's been really nice to have the time that's just built around, okay, we're going to take an hour and we're going to watch our UConn game and we're going to break down all the pieces that maybe we had forgotten since then. So to be able to have those times and those moments for them to adapt and be able to see things slowly and break it down and have them add input, I do think that they're adapting really nicely to it. And I think it's really helping their tactical IQ, which, we are still in a place that we are developing.
So what does it look like? And again, we're all hopeful right now that the fall sports season progresses as scheduled and as we expect it to. But regardless of that aspect of it, we know that the time is going to come at some point and sports will be played again. So when this team is back together and you've got everyone face to face for the first time, what are the steps from there then to get from where you are now to being game ready? What are those types of pieces that need to come back in place? Because obviously, I know you have lofty goals going into this next season.
The most important thing right now is that they're taking care of themselves, and that's not just in terms of mentally. It's mentally. We're meeting with Stephanie. We're doing some things obviously to make sure that they're mentally healthy right now. Academically, staying on top of things, because we know that when your academics start to fall, there is definitely a position where you are playing hockey, and that ends up falling as well. So it's really making sure that we're healthy in every aspect. Physically, which they can still focus on right now, which for us is a big part of our game, is making sure that we're quick, fast, able to move, mobile, dynamic. So that's something that we're fortunate. TU's strength has been helping us tremendously in terms of what they're doing on that end. And really, it's just going to be a matter of being resilient when we do get back. Are we doing what we need to do right now? Are we disciplined in who we are, in our character, so that when we come back, we can just get back to work? And it's another break, and we're coming back and we're getting after it. We're building off of where we were, and hopefully our tactical IQ is even higher. Our technical IQ is even higher, and we're putting them in major small game positions throughout preseason so that we can be prepared for our first game.
Well, I know we're all very much looking forward to when that day comes. I've got to say before I let you go that since we're all trapped here in our houses and we're going through quarantine, your Twitter feed in particular has been a source of entertainment for me and my wife, who are trapped here together. Now, you are with your fiance right now in quarantine, is that correct?
Yes, I am with my fiance. We are locked together, moving our wedding around potentially for a second time. But we have definitely had some days that are quite hilarious. He pulled up my tulips in the garden. He thought he was picking weeds. It's been really honestly, it's been comedy on my end more often than not. So I do take to Twitter to keep it light. Hopefully some people are getting some enjoyment from it as we are.
I will share my personal favorite here, which is day 18. Tim glanced at my paint by numbers and asked if I had made a mistake. So I'm just confirming the wedding is still on.
As of now, potentially not for July anymore, but I'm going to finish my paint by numbers, and hopefully he will see that it was successful. But yes, I thought that was a rather rude comment, so I'm shocked that we're still engaged right now.
If you guys can make it through this, I know you're going to have many happily wedded years ahead. That's the good news.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us. And again, best of luck as you get ready for the 2020 season. I know hopes are very high, and there's a lot of excitement right now around the Temple Field Hockey program.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Stay tuned.
All right, that's Susan Ciufo joining us. Thank you so much. We'll be back later next week to talk with more Temple coaches, student athletes, and administrators about the university's response to COVID-19. I'm Kevin Kopp. Thanks for watching.